Welcome to All In, November 18th, 2021. I am Matthew Wu. The Friends of Bayou Lafourche hosted a boat parade to celebrate Thibodeau's weir being removed. The weir was built in 1969 where Rotolo's Pizzeria is now. It controlled water flow since there was a lot less water in Bayou Lafourche. It is now harmful because more water was added into the bayou over the last several decades. The Friends of Bayou Lafourche hosted a boat parade on Sunday, November 14th at 2 p.m. to celebrate its removal. People rode their boats through a 3-mile parade starting and ending at John Lafitte National Historical Park. The parade had live music from local artists like Absent Minded and Harley Talbot. The nonprofit organization was founded in 2016. The stated purpose of the parade is to raise the awareness of the importance of Bayou Lafourche and its revitalization through education and informational outreach. Also, raising awareness by the creation of recreation and beautification opportunities along the bayou. Executive Director Ryan M. Perk hopes the removal will encourage more activities, boost business, and help with water flow. Nicholsworth Editor-in-Chief Brendan Arsema gives an update on all things happening at our campus news magazine.
I'm Brendan Arsema, and this is What's in the Nicholsworth. Last week we covered the boat parade that was sponsored by the Friends of Lafourche that took place this past Sunday. We also profiled our homecoming queen, Symphony Brown. And the highlight of our week was the distribution of our new magazine that we themed Ida. This was an opportunity for a lot of students around campus to voice their stories and how it was for them to experience the storm. And we were super excited about publishing this magazine. So be sure to pick it up. They will be in the stands around campus by the end of this week. And there are lots of surprises in the magazine, some of which include free coupons for a lot of restaurants around town. This week, we're going to be covering the mosaic and its importance and what it is and how you can submit things and where it goes once things are submitted. We will also be discussing we'll actually be doing a preview of our Homecoming King this week, in addition to covering a few movie reviews as well as Adele's concert that performed last night. We will also be profiling a couple seniors from a few different teams. So I'm Brendan Arsema, and that's What's in the Nicholsworth.
Be sure to pick up your special Hurricane Ida edition of the Nicholsworth all over campus. An old friend starts a new job fundraising for Nichols Athletics.
Yeah,
Hillary
the jerseys
Sharpenshay
are actually going to be for auction.
Athletic Association. Sharpenshay was the development officer for the Office of Development since 2018. She increased fundraising in the Chef John Falls Culinary Institute by more than 300%, and she was a founding member of Given Day, which has raised $400,000 for more than 100 campus organizations and departments. The CAA is the fundraising organization for Nichols Athletics. It provides a connection for alumni, family, friends, and fans to help Nichols student athletes receive an education while playing sports. Sharpenshay stopped in the studio to talk about celebrating 50 years of Nichols football with a special auction.
Yeah, the jerseys are the jerseys are actually going to be for auction. So they did a great job putting together the jerseys. They're really cool. They have all kinds of different pieces and elements from the 50 years that football has been at Nichols. So we'll have a website, bidpal.net/CAA football 50. And on the website, it actually will have the option for you to go through and see what pieces and parts make up the jersey, as well as all of the different jerseys that are up. So we have all the numbers 0 through 99 that are available for auction.
Right. So can you just break down a little bit, what they get in terms of putting in the money? Like where did the bids start at?
Yeah, so the bid starts at $500, and with that, you'll get the jersey with the 50th anniversary patch, as well as a mini helmet that will be a replica of the helmet that they wore with the 70th logo, the circle with the N on it.
Okay.
And so all of the proceeds from that is going to go back into student-athlete scholarships for football.
Well, Hillary, that's very exciting. Can you just break down some more things that y'all have going? I know this is your first week on the job, but can you just give me a little more insight about the CAA going forward beyond football into other sports? We're getting into basketball now. We're getting softball coming up and baseball coming up. Can you just break that down?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have lots of new coaches on staff. We have lots of exciting things happening, facility improvements that are going to be taking place across campus. I know that a lot of people are excited about the book vault expansion that's behind the football field. That just opened up this season. So if you haven't taken a chance to come tour it, definitely go take a tour of the facility. It's beautiful. Behind there, they're actually going to be doing an expansion that's going to include a covered facility for football's practice fields. And it's going to be large enough that soccer can actually play games there as well. So that's exciting. We're also working on some stuff with a field house for baseball. I know that the state's getting ready to kick in some dollars so that we'll be able to do some upgrades to facilities for basketball. So lots of exciting things happening in the world of athletics.
That's great, Hillary. That's just great to hear because our athletes, they deserve the backing of the community and they deserve the financial backing of the community also because they do such great work on the field. Hillary, we're just going to go back through the jersey again just to break down kind of what the people getting into once they start paying for it. So right here, like we spoke of before, you get the jersey, and the jersey breakdown is, you know, you got the different stripes and the patches representing the 50 years. Can you just walk me through the different eras of Colonel history right
Sure,
there?
absolutely. So on the mini helmets, you're actually going to have the Circle N sticker. That's reminiscent of the 70s. That was the logo that was back then. Then also on the sleeve, that's where we pay homage to the 80s. That's going to be that blue stripe there. The 2000s, we were pretty much known for having that gray stripe that went up the side of the jersey. And then the logo that's on the front, all the numbers, that's a very similar text to what we use in current day. So that's kind of how it pays homage to all the different eras.
Okay, perfect. Well, be a part of Colonel history by getting in on this. You have a chance to get a jersey that will probably never be worn again.
Right, it was a one-time only. And if you're not somebody who wants to go out and have a jersey, if that's maybe not something that, you know, tugs at your heartstrings, what better gift for a Colonel fan than a mini helmet for Christmas? So you can actually get the mini helmets. It's just a one price cost, $50 for the mini helmet, or $15 for a 50th patch, and you can kind of frame that up and make that a nice little gift.
Music student Darius Scott is the first place winner of the National Association of Teachers of Singing Regional Conference for 4th and 5th year students. The competition was held at the University of Southern Mississippi last weekend. He beat out students from universities in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. He moves on to the National Conference in Chicago in June. Here is a sampling of Scott's award-winning voice. Just for barbecue. Senior art student Monica Stock presents the exhibition Pieces of Me. All of her works are made using charcoal. The exhibit runs now through November 24th in Dane Leday Art Gallery. The art gallery is located in room 111 in Talbot Hall. All In will be right back with Colonel Day information and more.
Well, yes, sir. We'll get right on that. I'll see you in the morning, okay? All right, bye. I'm going to need you to pull the two coordinates for the DOQQ. TLU Communication needs to build a new tower to fill a gap in their cell coverage, and they're going to need a clear line of sight between that tower and their antenna.
I'm downloading the DTM for a cross-section view.
We're going to have to get that hill ground truth to find out what's there.
There's a field crew in that vicinity. I can make the call.
Okay, what do you need? We have a mature pine plantation about 60 feet tall.
There's a clear line of sight at 175 feet and above. That's how tall they'll need to build.
All right, looks good. Print it off. All right, here's the information on the hill we were looking at. It seems perfect for your new tower.
We'll start construction immediately. Thanks for getting this so quickly. In the past, we'd have to wait weeks.
Well, you gotta love modern geomatics.
More like magic. We need
Active students have another chance to attend Colonel Day. Colonel Day gives students a chance to learn about Nichols campus while they attend with their families. The day consists of Nichols presentations and campus tours of financial aid, academics, housing options, campus recreation, Greek life, and spiritual life. The next Colonel Day is this Saturday, the 20th. Check-in will begin at 10 a.m. in the Pelche Auditorium, and the opening session starts at 10:30 a.m. Visitors will be offered a free lunch in Galliano Dining Hall. Due to social distancing requirements, prospect students are limited to one guest. To register, go to nichols.edu/Colonel Day. KNSU TV's Trinice Cannon talks with a mass communications graduate in her alumni spotlight.
Nichols State University is known for having many accomplished alumni. Deanna Falls Jackson, graduate of Nichols Mass Comm Department, elaborates on her experiences on campus and post-graduation.
A month before I left Nichols, I got a job offer at a radio station. It was a gospel station. But I still was applying to different jobs anyway. So I did radio for like maybe a month and a half. And then 2 weeks after graduating, I got a job offer at a television station for a televangelist. It was an entry-level position. It was a tape operator, and I just decided to make the switch, which was a good decision because that station ended up closing like a month later. So I started working as a tape operator. A few months later, I was promoted to a video editor. I edit DVDs for the time being, and I did YouTube videos. Then I started producing commercials. I also did a little production work while there. I think I was there for like maybe 7 years. And so I produced different commercials. I started learning how to produce the TV show and edit the TV show. I was an editor there, but I also was a production assistant and a video engineer. So then started at WDSU as an editor for the newscast. And I guess word got around that I knew how to edit pretty good. So I did a few special opens, and then one of the producers asked me to be a part of a special project while I was there. The project was called The Salute to the Class of 2020. It was about different students that weren't able to have a graduation, a prom. So we wanted to showcase those students and, make them feel a little bit special with this special. And we actually won an Emmy for it. I was the show editor for that project. And I also helped a little bit with the producing of it. A few months later, I started training and becoming a producer. And then January of 2021, I became a producer, and I've been producing since.
As Deanna mentioned, once you find your passion, you'll never feel like you're working. I'm Trinice Cannon, reporting for KNSU TV.
The Foo Fighters were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame earlier this year, and they released a new album titled Medicine at Midnight. Here's KNSU Radio with the review in this week's music segment.
Hey, I'm Real Slim Leo, and this is the KNSU Weekly Music segment, and today we're reviewing Medicine at Midnight by Foo Fighters. This was their most recent release, their 10th album that they released earlier this year. Their big songs on it are Making a Fire, which you probably heard in the Dodge commercial.
How to make a rock star. Start them young. Let them fail. And be there when they do. Teach them what you know, and let them teach you what you don't. Believe in their dreams. The crazier, more wild and absurd, the better. Because bringing out the best of them takes the very best of us.
Another big song is Shame, Shame. That was their first single on that out on the Medicine at Midnight. Cloud Spotter's the third song on it. Pretty good song. Waiting on the Words, another big one that's a fan favorite. Then the title track, Medicine at Midnight. No Son of Mine is also a fan favorite. Holding Poison is okay. Chasing Birds, they did a music video for this one. And then Love Dies Young is the song they end the album with, which is a good way to end an album with. So Medicine at Midnight, for this record, they found a house in Encino, California, and it turned out to be haunted, and they recorded wherever you could record in the house. They recorded on stairs, the bathroom. They put stuff in the bathtub to record. They just took over the whole house for it. Dave Grohl said Medicine at Midnight is their Let's Dance album for Saturday night. You just put the record on and you dance and have a good time listening to it. And the beats of the songs prove that it makes you want to dance when you listen to it. My three favorite songs on the album are Shame, Shame, because that's the first song we heard from them. That was their first release from the album that we got to hear. Another one is Waiting on the War, because Dave said that he had this recurring dream since he was a kid of UFOs taking over Springfield, Virginia, where he's from. And the third song I like a lot was No Son of Mine. The riff to that song is just really good. Overall, I'd give it a 9. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm the Real Slim Leo, and tune in next week for another review.
The Inclusion Coffee Company is set to open March of 2022. With each passing day, residents of a coastal community in Nigeria are watching rising sea levels destroy their homes and way of life. Some blame climate change while others blame poor urban planning. CNN's Stephanie Busari reports from Lagos.
I'm really excited to get those doors open and have people come in here and see.
The low-lying community of Okwalfa in Lagos sits along Nigeria's Atlantic coast. Erosion along the shoreline is nothing new, but the problem is getting worse. Over time, residents say they have watched their ancestral homes and vital public infrastructure disappear.
This health center was washed away about 10 years ago.
It was washed away. We don't even have anywhere as a health center or a place when, if it is something happen, you can even rush a patient to there.
For decades, this community in Lagos suffered from flooding and erosion due to rising sea levels. But they say these breakers put here about 10 years ago have helped to solve some of this issue. But still, they remain worried.
Climate change is one culprit, but some are also pointing their fingers elsewhere.
Eco Atlantic is raising the standard for quality of life in Nigeria.
Touted as the next economic capital of Africa, Eco Atlantic is a new city being built on 6.5 million square meters of land reclaimed from the ocean bed in the Victoria Island district of Lagos. The eroding coastline is protected by an 8.5 kilometer Great Wall of Lagos. But the surrounding community says the construction has made things worse for them.
When the project is about to commence, none of us are called. They have to call us. We have to say our own certain experience that we have.
The company behind the project insists it is not to blame and goes so far as to say that the Victoria Island area of Lagos would not exist without the Eco Atlantic project.
A contract between ourselves and the Lagos State Government to effectively arrest the erosion of Bar Beach that was threatening the very existence of Victoria Island, and in turn find a permanent solution. That permanent solution is Eco Atlantic City.
But they're saying this has caused it to worsen.
Well, that's not the case.
But that is the case. environmental advocates say.
If the people at Okwafa or any other place on the island claims that it is because of the construction of the Eco Atlantic City bringing about flooding in their own areas, they cannot be wrong, because the water will definitely find its level in other areas.
Where that water does go will impact those in Okwafa forever.
Are you worried that this community will sink underwater?
The water have carried a lot of the community away. We are crying, and if this thing is happening, it's going to demolish this village.
Stephanie Pasari, CNN, Lagos, Nigeria.
A community that can be overlooked is getting some special attention from a recent college graduate in Wisconsin. Mackenzie Edinger is creating a space where special needs individuals can get support and feel challenged. Julia Fellow has the story.
I'm really excited to get those doors open and have people come in here and see what amazing things that they can do.
Mackenzie Edinger is just 23 years old.
We put our beans in here to make that coffee.
And has never owned a business before.
How about make a cup of coffee or an espresso?
I have not.
She believes the secret ingredient to her coffee shop called Inclusion Coffee Company will be her employees.
All right, Jack, look at this. On a big drive-through window.
Her first hire will be Jack Ryan, whom she babysat for 2 summers.
I just built that strong relationship with him, and I just feel like he will be a great asset here.
I love her. She's very nice to me, and I like her a lot. I do.
Is he kind of like your inspiration?
He is, actually.
She plans to hire at least 20 people with special needs to start.
Do you see those opportunities lacking in this community?
Not just this community, but I think a lot of places.
What you're looking forward to doing working here?
I begin to drive you. There are a lot of people here, like thousands.
And our logo also is a bunch of people like gathered around and huddled around. So I think just in the logo itself shows that we are one big community and very inclusive.
This 23-year-old just graduated with a degree in early childhood and special education, but plans to use her teaching skills behind a barista table.
Whereas here they are going to be working on customer service skills and making the coffee and the food for our community.
Jack's father is not surprised.
Really feel fortunate as a parent that someone like this was brought into his life. A parent's dream come true. I think he'll be able to get on a first name basis with a lot of customers over time.
And for 19-year-old Jack, it's an opportunity for him to make his own money and become more independent.
I'm going to try my best. I will.
Julia Fellow, TMG4 News.
Adele returned to the stage at the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles Sunday. On November 14th, she debuted her songs for her upcoming album 30 in a one-night-only performance. The songwriter and singer's last album, 25, was released in 2015. She has kept her fans wanting more ever since. The special featured a pre-recorded interview with Oprah Winfrey in between performances of older songs and 4 songs from the new album. Adele opened up performing the first and only song released from her new album, Easy on Me. She later closed the concert with Love is a Game. Adele wore a black mermaid tail dress and the orchestra dressed up in all white. She welcomed everyone and explained that she wanted to debut this album to her celebrity friends live for the first time in a safe space. The guest A-list featured Lizzo, Melissa McCarthy, Selena Gomez, Gordon Ramsay, James Corden, and more. 30 is Adele's most vulnerable, raw album, which is dedicated to her 9-year-old son, Angelo. The 2-hour special was a night filled with elegance and a debut of the upcoming album, 30, which will be released on November 19th. Adele, One Night Only, is available for streaming on Paramount+. A warning from the CDC. Measles is now considered a global threat again after routine vaccines were missed over the pandemic. Mandy Gaither has more in today's Health Minute.
It's one of the most contagious viruses known, and the CDC says measles is a threat to the world once again after 22 million babies missed their vaccines during the pandemic.
Disruptions that come from things like the COVID pandemic can be really dangerous over a short period of time.
Measles was declared eliminated in the U.S. in 2000 thanks largely to vaccines. but travelers can bring it into the country, and the virus can further spread among unvaccinated people. While reported measles cases dropped in 2020, the CDC says there were nearly 1,300 cases reported in 2019. With missed vaccinations, the risk of outbreaks grows around the world.
With just measles vaccine alone, over the past 20 years, the estimate is about 32 million lives saved. But none of that is a guarantee, and all of that requires constant vigilance and constant ability to deliver vaccine to people who need it.
In the U.S., children get 2 doses of the measles vaccine, one at about a year of age, the second shot between the ages of 4 and 6. Symptoms appear 1 to 2 weeks after contact with the virus and include high fever, cough, runny nose, and watery eyes. A rash appears 3 to 5 days after the first symptoms. U.S. health officials say measles vaccines are key to keeping everyone safe. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
2 much-loved movies mark big anniversaries this year. A modern classic and an iconic Christmas film. David Daniel looks at both in today's Hollywood Minute.
You're a wizard, Harry. I'm a what?
It's been 20 years since Harry Potter first hit the big screen, but it doesn't seem that long to Chris Columbus, who directed the first 2 Harry Potter movies.
It really feels like we were just making the film a couple of weeks ago, and I have such vivid memories of working on those sets. I mean, you can imagine when, as a director, you're given sets like that. You build those sets. You want to rush to work every day. You can't wait to get to my so-called office and start shooting these films. It was a dream come true.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
It's been 75 years since Carolyn Grimes delivered that classic line in It's a Wonderful Life.
I'm honored, and I'm so blessed that Frank Capra picked me to be Zuzu, because I feel like it's been an avenue for me to work with people, touch their lives, tell them stories, and listen to their stories. And I just can't tell you how wonderful that has made my life.
You really had a wonderful life.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's all for today's All In. See you next Wednesday or whenever you watch the stream. Have a great week.